Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're looking at the Esee Zancudo, which is one of the few folding knives that Esee is actually currently have on the market right now. There's been a long wait for the Izula folder, but once again they keep releasing different versions of the prototype, but nothing's ever come to market that I've seen to date. But hey, this is still early. We may see something at SHOT Show 2018, maybe 2019, maybe 2030. Eventually they might come out with something. But in the meantime, this is the best we're going to get for a folding knife from Esee. Now, the good news and the bad news is with this one, it's a good knife and it's cheap. The bad news is, from my understanding, this is not produced in-house from Esee. This is actually produced overseas in Taiwan. Who actually makes it for Esee, I don't know. And with that said, I do not believe this falls under their standard warranty that you see with the fixed blades. That is pretty much, if you can break it and send it back to them, they'll probably replace it for you. Excluding the obvious things such as rust, using it as a throwing knife, or something that you're trying to break it, though they do tout the fact that they replace the knife that someone shot at to break. So keep that with a grain of salt. But either way, for what you're getting for this, it is a very small, compact knife, and it is extremely thin on the profile for the spine. So if you're the type that doesn't want a thick blade in your pocket, this is actually a great way to go. Now, the first thing I noticed when I did buy this is it is a very stiff knife out of the box. So much so that if you don't have your technique right when you're trying to flick this open, it's not going to work well for you. Once you learn that you basically need to flick up rather than flicking out, it's going to work great and flip out very fast, which I'm noticing that's coming out of focus here. So once again, as I mentioned, if you flick up, you can get that out very fast, works very well, and it does have a nice tight lockup with a lot of room to spare on the liner lock. Right now, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's about a 50% engagement on the liner blade. Not the liner blade, on the liner lock itself. Now, the pocket clip does work well. It does have a lot of tension. You will notice this will probably tear up your pockets over time, as you will find with many of the similar styles of knife. But again, if you carry a knife every day, that's not something you're too worried about. But the main thing is, it is a good little knife. It does have G10 scales on one side, aluminum on the back side, I believe that is. And then for a point of comparison for the profile, that's it up against a full-size Griptilian from Benchmade. So it is a very, very thin knife by comparison. And even with that, the size of the blade is similar in overall length, but again, it is a much thinner blade. So, as you notice, it is a full plain edge. It does not have a partial serration, which for me, I like that much better because you don't waste that space of a serrated edge that most people never really need, except for the type of people who don't really know how to sharpen an edge, never do, and then realize, oh, that's the only sharp portion of the knife. So if you are cutting a lot of rope or something where you would use a serrated edge, that may be something to keep in mind. But for most people, a full plain edge would be the way to go. But overall, it's held an edge very well. It does have Aus-8 steel, which, while it's not a super steel, it is a nice, nice edge, a nice blade that'll hold a great edge. Now, they do make this in a few different colors. This is just the one I went with, just the plain black. And I've been very happy with it. I would more than happily buy this again. Usually you can see them on Amazon for about 35 bucks. I actually lucked out and picked this thing up on Amazon for 5 bucks when there was a pricing error. So I lucked out very well on this one. But with that said, I've also picked up several more at the full price, and it's worked very well for me. But if you have any questions, put them in the comments section below. And as always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.